Recently, you guys might have seen I released a tier list video going through the Scarlet Violet era sets. And the last time I went through the Scarlet Violet era sets, I kind of ranked them was over 6 months ago in October. Now, of course, since then, things have changed massively in the Pokemon market. And just not even like the market itself, just people's like thoughts, perception, and everything regarding Pokemon as a whole. And I don't think it's just based on people that want to just invest in sealed product or in single cards for any period of time. But I think also based on people just wanting to be able to just enjoy the hobby whichever way that they want to. And I was going through and I was checking through this tier list and I was going through each of these sets one by one, starting from base set, going all the way through to Destined Rivals. Now I do have a video coming out soon with Destined Rivals to give you guys a real honest thought process on that one. But we have Journey Together that's just come out recently, and it came out at an insanely high price, okay? And we saw on TCG Player, pre-order prices was in the high 200s, and that was for either the enhanced or the regular booster box. We then saw people buying that on a daily basis, like multiple, like just a ton of it, right? So many listings being sold, not just on TCG Player, but I also saw the pre-orders here on eBay in the UK of these booster boxes going for 200 plus. And I'm thinking to myself, there is no way that this can sustain itself. All right. Now, Join Together, I've enjoyed the set. I have genuinely enjoyed the set. Like, open it up, it's great, right? Because it is a small set. It is fun. Okay. It makes it fun because it's small and you get the hits and, card quality is pretty good. The artwork's quite nice. But I kind of feel like, regardless of what the set is, it just shouldn't have been fetching that type of price. And I've been quite vocal about talking about Prismatic Evolutions and the situation regarding when that set came out. Now, Prismatic is going back up in price, even though there are talks of reprints coming. However, I believe those reprints are going to be predominantly for the US. I don't know whether or not we're going to be getting them here. If we do, great. If we don't, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think the reprints are going to be enough. I just don't. But you never know. Pokemon could surprise us later on this year or going into 2026. They could end up reprinting just an absolute ton of all of these sets, all of these current Scarlet and Violet era sets. Now, one thing I noticed when I was going through this tier list one by one is a lot of these booster boxes have been going up in price, obviously much faster than Sword and Shield era sets have, right? Some Sword and Shield era sets took a while to break $200 or to reach close to $200, even to break retail. You look at the Scarlet and Violet era, and pretty much all of them are up that $200 range now, if not more. And especially some of the more recent ones are basically like come flying out of the gate way above 200. You even go back a year, when pretty much before Twilight Masquerade even came out, and booster boxes like Temporal Forces would come out around 105, 110, maybe even 100 in some places. And people just didn't want to pay MSRP. It was just too expensive, right? Why would you pay 155 here or 160 or whatever it is, 165 over in the US? Like, why would you pay that type of money for any booster box or Pokemon product? It was just not worth it, right? And now we're in a situation where, like Join Together, MSRP feels like it's a bargain. You feel like, oh, hang on a minute, I'm able to get this for MSRP. That's fantastic. I feel like I'm getting a really good deal. That is the situation we're in at the moment. Prismatic, I mean, look, it is a specialty set. They naturally are a little bit more expensive, but not the level that Prismatic is at. So today we're going to be going through, we're going to take a look on Collector, and we're going to be going through some of these sets, and like Join Together, for example, has been going down in price. So obviously it came out very, very expensive. It has been going down in price. We're going to be looking at what's going on over here in the UK to give you guys here an idea of what's going on. We did an in-depth look of the US market the other day with the tier list. But I'm just going to pick a couple of sets here today so you guys can see what is going on regarding the UK market and the fact that prices are falling. I will be doing a separate video talking about the single card prices. They are falling as well. I did a video not too long ago where I talked about some of the biggest cards that have fallen in price. And I think this is what, if I had to go with a prediction, I think prices are going to continue to fall, especially when it comes to single cards and graded cards. But that's for another video. So today, let's take a look at some of these sets and kind of get an understanding of what is going on in the market. Okay, so today we're taking a look at the collector app. Well, I'll say collector app. We're on the website for collector. Really, really cool marketplace data. And we can see here that we look at joining together, right? And we've got the enhanced booster boxes. This is all in pounds, ETBs, and so on and so forth, to give you guys an idea of pretty much what has been going on. So we take a look at just the normal booster box. Now, over here in the UK, the regular booster box, like the non-enhanced version, was the normal one that we got, and it was pretty much everywhere. Okay, so we're looking at around £178. Now, recently I have been picking up some joining together. I did manage to get some originally at MSRP, but then I managed to pick some up. I think it was around about 165 was probably the price point on eBay of where I looked at. And prices have been falling. I mean, they were over £200 and people were paying them just before the set released, and now it's falling. I do expect it to continue to go down in price. It seems to me, this is like from what I've noticed on eBay, especially here in the UK, is that I don't know whether or not this is selling much slower than a set like Surging Sparks, or therefore there's not enough interest, or there has been more supply than Surging Sparks. I don't feel like there's been more supply than Surging. Remember, like, you were able to pick Surging up for like £105, £110 when it first came out, and then it climbed up to however high it is now, which we'll look at in a moment. But joining together, I kind of feel like a lot of people have held off, right? A lot of people are like, you know what? No, I'm not paying, £200 a booster box. There's just no way. And I've seen quite a lot of people, had spoken to people personally. They're like, Jace, I'm just gonna step away for a little bit, right? I'm not, maybe I might concentrate on picking up some single cards. Maybe get some graded cards. Get the cards I want from the set. I'm not going to go and spend £200 on a brand new set where the prices are going to fall when reprints hit. Okay. And yeah, I think that would be the case. I mean, I don't see it sustaining very well. But it is falling, and it's fallen quite a bit already. Now, whether or not you like the set or not, there is less supply out there than earlier, obviously, Scarlet Violet era sets, the ones in the past. But yeah, I get the general feeling of joining together hasn't been that exciting. You look at like a regular ETB being £60. I mean, this thing's fallen like absolute crazy. Came out at £90. Now it's dropped down to 60. As you can see, it's dropping. As well. You can't really see the price there, but basically it's fallen. You got £60 there. Let me move this. Bear with me. Well, there we go. So you guys can see it. So £60 there has dropped by about 7% already. So yeah, things are falling, right? Things are falling. We've got the enhanced version here. The funny story with the enhanced version, obviously it's a little bit hard to get here in the UK. The promo here goes for about £30. Now it says here the booster boxes are 165. They are a little bit more expensive actually, than they are than the normal ones, right? The normal ones is about right. It's about that 170 to 180. The enhanced ones are a little bit more expensive. They're about 190 to 200, but you do get like a £35 promo. So it does work out pretty much 165 once you take out the promo. But yeah, I mean, across the board, like I say, it has been falling. Let me look at the single cards, and again, we will see these single card prices have continued to fall. Take a look at the Lily's Clefairy, biggest card in the set. This card was insanely hyped before the set release, and look at this, it's already dropped 24% in the last couple of days, and it just keeps falling. And it's at £158. I wouldn't be surprised if this card reaches 100, or even less than 100. The set's got really good pull rates, which does impact it quite a lot as a small set. Good pull rates. Yeah, I mean, we just had Prismatic, right, which has insanely hard, expensive cards, big set, tough pull rates, expensive to buy, like a perfect storm, and it's very, very expensive. We've had Surging Sparks, massive set, tough pull rates, therefore big money cards. It's nice that we've got a set like this. It's nice to have one where prices are becoming more and more affordable. Salamence, an amazing card. £100 has actually gone up a little bit, but still overall dropped massively from nearly 300. So yeah, I mean, these prices are just mental, to be honest. Like Articuno is my favorite card in the set. Gorgeous card, £30. This thing's dropped like no tomorrow. So yeah, I might just buy it, to be honest, then open up packs. Okay, we're gonna look at Surging Sparks. We did say we were gonna look at Surging Sparks. So booster boxes here look around £190. And like I say, it took time to get to where it is. And there was a lot of sales volume on this set. A lot of people loved Surging and opened up a lot of Surging Sparks. And here's the thing, if I'm being honest, I think that Surging Sparks is going to perform better in the long run than quite a lot of these sets. You got tough pull rates, amazing cards, huge set, price getting more expensive. Like I said, it is due a reprint, right? The set's not even that old. It came out in November. It's not even 6 months old. It's already £190 a box. I think it's like $250 plus in the US. So yeah, I mean, this one again, it's starting to drop a little bit, but not by a huge amount. I do expect it to continue to potentially drop, especially if there's reprints. But this one's holding quite strong. Like it is doing relatively well. And even when you look at the other prices, the other products, just like an all ETB at 77, it's climbed to get that way. Whereas when a set comes out at an insanely high price, like Join Together, and then it falls, it is what it is, right? It's just kind of like get wrecked at that point. When we look at the single card prices, we've got the old Twerkachu coming in. Pretty high price, right? £288 is a lot of money, but again, it has been falling. I mean, recently it's just dropped 10%, and it consistently was sat around like £300 to £350 for the longest time, but only recently it looks like it's starting to like fall off a cliff. Again, the pull rates haven't changed or anything like that. I think a lot of people are selling a lot of these cards as well. They may have kept hold of them. They need the cash. Maybe they're looking at moving the money elsewhere, and they're just trying to sell these off. And we're seeing that, especially when it comes to sealed product. I want to get into it in a separate video, but we are seeing that a lot of sell-offs are happening regarding sealed product as well. But Pikachu, big cards, still holding pretty good value. But then we're looking at other cards in the set as well, and they are they're holding. I mean, they have fallen. They've fallen quite a bit. And I think the big boom, as it were, regarding with a lot of these cards, is starting to cool off massively. If these sets can't sustain their prices of the single cards, then the sealed product will fall, especially if it is a standard print run set. It hasn't had the reprints yet. We will start to see that. Of course we will. And finally, I just want to touch upon some Japanese sets, the stuff that have recently come out. We're going to take a look at Hot Air Arena. I call it Heatwave. I don't know if there's a different name for it or whatever it is. Single card prices of this set are pretty high for a Japanese set, I must say. Yeah, you got the 70th Guard Charm, £108. I'm pretty sure it's been dropping though. Yeah, I mean, look at this card already. I mean, it's dropped nearly 50% in value from its all-time high. Still a really cool card though, nonetheless. Let's take a look at the sealed products. So we've got booster boxes here for £85. Now, I have seen them on eBay, bouncing around the 90-ish range. But this is somewhat about right. It has fallen a little bit. It was like over £100 and quite consistently over £100. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. And things like that. But, it's holding its own. It's finding its place right now. There's some big money cards in it. Things with Japanese sets, they do print and reprint a lot. So I expect more of this to hit the market. And I give you a prime example. Let's take a look at Battle Partners, okay? Let's take a look at Battle Partners. We want sealed product. So Battle Partners, here we go, booster boxes. These came out, I don't know what the hell that is. These came out insanely high, okay? They were around about, well, obviously this is more the accurate bit here. They were around about 120 to 130 pounds, even 150 pounds at one point. And now look at them. 65 pounds and dropped 20% recently. More hit the market. Japan cranked it up and it did fall. And I expect that to continue being the case. It's just the way it goes. Now, one set which has done pretty well, and I do expect it to hold, is Terrestrial Festival. Now, Terrestrial Festival, obviously the single card prices have taken an absolute slap in the face. We look at the Umbreon. It has fallen from its pretty much from its all-time high. So it was here roughly around £350, and now we're looking at it settling pretty much around that 250 range. Okay, I mean, like, it makes sense, right? The set is opened a lot. It's good pull rates. It is what it is, right? But the booster boxes, they're holding relatively well. In fact, they're now bouncing back. £88. I bought them when they first came out at 45 each, and I remember saying that coming up to Christmas, they would probably be close to £100 a box, and in most cases, they were roughly around £100. And it's starting to cool off a little bit. I did know that over in Japan they did print more of this set. This set is in such high demand that it is holding a higher price point. And even with my Japanese contact, they're still keeping these at a relatively high price. So it is keeping this set more and more higher. But it is doing well, just like Prismatic. It's just going to follow suit. So if you're looking maybe to invest in Japanese stuff, maybe look at something like Terrestrial Festival. And then finally today we're going to look at Prismatic. We're going to look at Prismatic because why not? Single card prices, yeah, they've been falling pretty much across the board. Yeah, we look at the Umbreon. This poor sucker is falling like mad. It's going to happen, right? And when more gets reprinted, it will drop even more. So let's take a look at the regular ETBs. Can we go to the normal regular ETBs? See there, right? The normal regular ETBs, we're looking around about £100 ETB, and they are starting to climb. We knew it was going to happen. You're going to get, obviously it gets released. A load of people have them, open them, do whatever they want with them. And then the market was going to dry up of ETBs, and then prices were going to start trickling upwards. And we've seen it over in the US, where it's like 130 now, I think, in ETB. And we're now seeing around £100 ETB here. Now, you can buy individual packs cheaper than the cost of this. I mean, I think this is what, like £10 a pack? Over £10 a pack. We have seen these be cheaper. I think it might tell us here actually what booster pack is. Like, as in like just a regular booster pack. It says £10. I do know that some places you can find them for a little bit less, like maybe towards that £9 range. But it is starting to bounce back up. We did see a big drop where it was going for that £12-13, and we did see a drop. It did go to around £8.50, and it's trickling back up to around about £10. So Prismatic is on the uptick, and depending on how much reprints we get, if we do get any, we could see an impact. But yeah, it just seems it's a strong performance set. It's going to do well. I ranked it as probably the best Scarlet Violet era set that has been released, and I don't think anything is going to beat it. But yeah, it's doing very, very well.